All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Mixing with Dan. We're going to be taking on part two of our mix of Crunch by Dekka and Grace Annabelle. Last time we went through some drums and some bass and some basic leveling, and now we're going to continue on. We're going to start with some vocals, maybe get into some guitars. We'll see how it goes. Yeah. Sorry, Justin, or sorry, Jordan. Freebird isn't the blue one. That's an inside joke between us. Anyways, so today we're going to move on to some vocals. I'm just going to play a little bit of the song so you guys can see what it is again and get used to the sound of it. So we'll just start with right before this first chorus here. Cool. So I'm just going to select this area so we can loop it. We basically have one main vocal track here. We've got some add-ons. I think this is a harmony track, a double, and then there's this other track with some effects on it that I've trimmed down to only be in a couple sections. So that's pretty much what we're working with. This is our main lead vocal track right here. So let's just solo that for a second, and we're going to start applying some of our basic like corrective EQ, and then I'll show you like the other like the compression stuff that I like to do for vocals.
Come on, you got a lot to say, so come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Come on, you got a lot to say, so come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut deeper now. Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut deeper now. Come on, you got a lot to say, so come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Come on, you got a lot to say, so come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I know, I know.
Yeah, you're going to hear that phrase a lot as you keep watching this. Cool. So that's good enough basic EQ. We're just getting a little bit of the low mids out. When she gets into her low register, she kind of gets a little throaty, and I feel like if we take just a little bit of that out, it'll be a bit more consistent in her tone. Cool. So now we're going to go on to dynamics, and we're going to do this pretty classic trick. So what I like to do is like take an 1176, any 1176 or like really fast style compressor will work for this. We're going to do the fastest attack and release that we can get, and we're just going to set this, the input output, so that the level doesn't change. If we take the compressor out, we want to keep it level matched, and we're also only going to try and catch the like peaks of her vocal.
Come on, you got a lot
so that's too much right there.
So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Come on, you got a lot to say, so come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut deeper now. Work hard.
Cool. Yeah, so we've got it. It's really only hitting the really bigger peaks. And we pretty much level match it. It's never going to be exact, but it doesn't sound that different when you bypass it now versus when it's in. So let's just hear that.
Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know.
Right. So it's not too different when it's bypassed. And like that's the thing. This is only doing a very little bit of work because we're gonna just even it out a little bit so that we can throw on an LA2A. Yeah, I have the CLA LA2A and the CLA 76. Just the ones that I have. Feel free to use any emulation that you have. It doesn't really matter which one. You can use any optical compressor for this. You could even try using something like a 670 on a slower setting. It doesn't matter. We've got our peaks controlled, and now we're going to just kind of level out the whole thing and make it really consistent.
Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I know, I know.
Cool. And yeah, that's pretty much what we're going to do. And we're going to maybe come back and adjust this a little bit. There's going to be another layer of compression further on when we get down to the bus. So what I want to do now is just compare between what we've done and what we had originally.
Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I know, I know, I know.
Cool. So it was still just a little bit louder after all that, so I just pulled it down a tiny bit more, and that's a bit better. And now let's hear what it sounds like in context, because that's what it really matters. We don't really care what it sounds like in solo. We're going to care what it sounds like in context.
Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut deeper now. Work hard all the time.
Cool. Let's check out another section here.
I should have been better, but I've been a fool. Yeah, I've been a fool. I should have been better. Should have opened my eyes and saw this golden.
Skip ahead.
And all of this time you have.
Yeah, the guitars are great in this song. The producer did an amazing job of selecting tones and parts throughout the whole song. They sound so good already.
That was sad, yeah, they hurt, but they set me on free.
So that's an edit we're going to have to smooth out. So let's just do that right now.
Yeah, they hurt. Sad, yeah, they hurt, but they set me on free. Yeah, they hurt.
So I really want I want that last bit of harmony to come in right where she says hurt. I want it to be, yeah, they hurt, and get the full.
Yeah, they hurt.
There we go.
But they set. Yeah, they hurt.
Yeah, there we go. That's what I wanted. Okay, great. Cool. So that's doing pretty well. And now, because it's the same singer and we have stacks, we're going to have pretty similar problems in the other tracks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to solo this next one. Cool little harmony. Oh, there's a harmony embedded in here. Oh. So what we're going to do is we're just going to quickly copy this one down, and we're going to see if that made a difference. We're going to see if that one's better now, right? Because it's the same vocalist. She's doing the same pretty much things. She pretty much has the same issues in her voice. She is singing a little bit higher, so we might need to move around some points. Yeah, so moving around that low mid dip, that kind of cleared it up a little bit better. Okay, and now we're going to do the same thing with our dynamics. So she's singing a little bit louder here, so we're going to pull this down. It's probably a little too far. Cool. Let's do some good stuff, and let's grab our 2A. That's probably a bit too much gain reduction. Cool. All right, let's hear what that sounds like. I want that harmony to be a bit louder. I love harmonies. Not sure if you guys heard that, but it is bringing in some like left-right differences, which is kind of cool. It's kind of popping out on each side, bringing some movement. Probably not how I would send this to a mixer. I would have broken those out into individual tracks, but I'm sure he had a good reason for doing it this way. All right, and let's check our final vocal track. And we're going to do the same process here. But maybe we're going to find a different spot so she's not just saying I know all the time. Yeah, so now we have that like low mid build up again. So I'm going to probably pull a little bit more of that out. This probably isn't a good spot for this type of compression. Let's try over here. So that's way too much. Cool, happy with that. Notice there's a little bit of distortion in the recording. That's not really a problem. We're only hearing it in solo. We're not going to hear that in context. Like, just give that a listen. Right? You can't hear that. Yeah, so you're never going to hear that in context, so don't stress about it when you're hearing it in solo. Cool. And then we have this last little guy down here we're going to check out. I'm going to take this section, which is a little bit bigger. And because this already has a lot of effects on it, I'm actually going to like more strictly band limit this. Sounds like there's a delay and a reverb in here. And again, we have some harmony stacks built into this. Kind of liking that like telephony sound I'm getting. Let's see if we can exaggerate that a little bit more. Sweet. Yeah, that's kind of cool. I didn't do that last time. Every time you mix a song, it's going to be different. For those of you who are just joining on the second stream, this is a song I mixed for a client a couple years ago, and he, gave me permission to use it for this stream, so I'm very grateful to him for that. And it's going to turn out a little bit differently than last time. Maybe at the end of this, we'll do a little bit of a comparison between what I did this time and what I did last time. We'll see how it came out. But we're going to apply pretty much the same logic to our compression here. A little bit much here. Okay. This is an effect, so I'm gonna maybe just slam this a little harder. Cool. Awesome. I'm loving that telephone effect. That is something that I didn't do last time, and I'm kind of kicking myself that I didn't this time. Cool. And so I mentioned that we're going to do a bit more compression on the bus level. So what I like to do, I'm not going to use the SSL, but I like to always try out a couple different compressors on the bus, because this is going to make all of those vocal tracks sit together better when you compress them together. So just because I'm feeling it today, we're going to look for a Pultec. Oh, and I'm in EQs. That's why I can't find my Pultec. All right, let's try the Fairchild. And let's make sure we're looping a spot that has all of our vocals in it together. So that's adding a lot of gain. Okay, so that's with all our vocals together. Let's try a spot that's a little less affected. Cool. All right, so that's a good spot for our vocals to be right now. Something that I didn't do with the drums yet, because I'm not sure about it, is reverb and delay, but we're going to add that to our vocals now because it's kind of an integral piece of the puzzle, and I like fitting the vocals into those effects first before I bring other things into it. So this song is a little bit different. Most of the time, if I just had a stack of lead vocals and doubles and stuff like that, I would just send it straight off of the vocal bus. But this one, we have like different harmony parts that are also stacked themselves. And this track also has some effects. So I don't want to send that track into effects as well. So I'm going to start building this straight off of the lead vocal track. And really what we're looking for is we're just looking for a little bit of space, a little bit of spread, like stereo spread. We're not going to make this a super obvious effect. I think there's plenty of that. So I already have my routing set up for my effects. So first thing we're going to do is go to bus 1, 2, and this is our plate reverb. So right now I've got the CLA Echosphere going. Might change that out for the Sound Toys little plate.
Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut deeper now. Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut. Work hard all the time.
So you can hear that that's just like a very slight opening up for the vocals, and it's just giving us a little bit extra space there. So that's our basic reverb. Now we're going to go to our first delay, which is on bus 9 and 10 in my setup here. And basically what we have is we have our channel strip and we have an Echo Boy Jr. And this is usually, I usually just leave it. Sometimes I align it, I set it up so that it goes off of the click, but usually I can just leave it here. We'll see how it sounds.
Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut deeper now. Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut deeper now.
And the cool thing about the delays is that they actually also go back into the reverbs, right? So here we're sending back to the plate. We're not sending this one to our room and our special reverb, but it is by default going back to the plate. And that's because a delay on its own, it's kind of harsh. So it's nice to have that delay also be fed back into the reverb. It helps smooth it out a bit.
Work hard all the time.
Still think that send could be a little higher.
Your words cut deeper now. Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut deeper now.
Cool. Next, we're going to send this to a stereo spread. So the first one's just a bit of a slap back, and then the next one we're going to send to is this sort of spread. This has slightly different times on both sides, and I'm going to give it a little bit more feedback.
Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut deeper now. Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut deeper now.
Cool. So that's giving us a nice spread. Boz Imperial delay with smear chorus. Got to check it out. All right. Well, maybe next time I'll demo that plug for everybody on the streams next. So I'll try to remember that. I'll try to make a note of that, and I'll grab the demo of that next time I'm doing a stream, and we can check it out. Boz Imperial delay. Got it. I know you love your Boz plugins, Josh. I'll even use your affiliate link if I buy it, I promise. Cool. So that's our basic vocal sound. If we get to a point where we want to do more, we'll come back to them. But that's pretty much our sound for now, and I really like it. Like,
Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to
actually, that delay is a little strong.
Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to me.
All right, cool. So I'm happy with that for now. We're obviously going to come back. We're going to do a little more. There's a couple things that I do on buses that I haven't done yet. We're going to come back to that later. For now, I'm going to move on to the guitars. Like I said earlier, these sound amazing. The producer did an amazing job with them, but I did have trouble making sure that, the parts were coming through properly. That was always a big challenge with this one. And they're split onto all these different tracks. So I think this time what we're going to do is we're going to take a section and we're going to solo each guitar, and we're just going to find that level for them.
Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Ooh, ooh, you're gonna get what you deserve. You're gonna get what
All right, we're going to work with that balance for a bit. And now we're going to go through the guitars, and we're going to do pretty much the same process we did with everything else. We're going to do some corrective EQ. We might do some compression. We might not do some compression. We're going to see if it really needs it. The thing about guitars is that, like, if you have really clean, jangly tones, I find a compressor can really help glue that sound into the mix. But if you have really, like, atmospheric guitars, or if you have, like, super distorted guitars, you don't always need compression, because at least with distorted guitars, it's already done for you. You don't need to do it again with a compressor. That distortion creates a very similar effect to compression anyway, so there's not really any point. If you already have a sausage, there's no point in trying to compress it. And then with atmospheric guitars, it just kind of takes away all the dynamics of it, and it makes it hard to bring that emotion back into the track. All right, so let's start with our guitar A rhythm.
Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Ooh, ooh, you're gonna get what you deserve.
Cool. Actually, I might just hold on.
Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know.
All right, cool. So what I'm just looking for is a little bit of shimmer. I'm looking to kind of have that guitar sort of surround the mix, and then I just needed a little bit of bite in the mids so that it would articulate well in the whole mix. Yeah. And then let's just see. I feel like this one might fall into that sort of like clean, jangly category. So let's just try something like an 1176 and see what we get.
Come on, you got a lot to say. So come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Ooh, ooh, you're gonna get what you deserve. You're gonna get what you deserve. Ooh, ooh, you're gonna get what you deserve. You're gonna get what you deserve. Why was it worth it? 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 Was it worth it? Why was it worth it? Why was it worth it? Why was it worth it?
Nice. I really like what that's doing. That's cleaned it up. And yeah, the compression really did help glue it into the mix. So let's keep going. Let's go on to the next guitar.
Deeper now. Deeper now.
All right, yeah, we're gonna try the 76 again on this. And I'm just gonna pull this over as a starting point. I think it's gonna be a little bit too much compression. I really just want to hear it in this section. Again, we're not trying to add gain when we do compression. We're just trying to shape the sound a little bit differently. I really like how it's releasing before it attacks again. Like it's sort of, the compression is kind of sitting in and enhancing the groove that he's building here. All right, we're gonna add this lead guitar in now. And we're gonna find a spot where he plays a bit more consistently. So let's go through here. If anyone knows the guy at Waves that set up the default preset on the CLA2A, can you tell him to turn the gain down? Because every single time I've opened this plugin, and I've had it for years, it has always added like 10 dB of gain, it sounds like, and it is just the most frustrating thing. So if anyone knows the guy who designs plugins at Waves, specifically this guy, tell him to turn the gain down. Cool. And so the reason I went for the LA2A on this is this part has a lot of things going on with it, and I just felt that something with a bit more smoother character, something that would less just like grab peaks and more just like smooth out the whole thing would work, because we kind of go from this really like airy atmospheric guitar into this like slightly distorted like lead licks kind of playing, and it's kind of hard to determine what you want to do with that when it's all in one track. Personally, I'd have done that on separate tracks, but might have been one guitar player just changing pedals on the fly while they recorded, and if that's what they did, that's what they did, and that's what you have. And you know, if it's too hard, you can always split it into different tracks and treat them differently, but I don't think we're that far off, so I don't think we really need to do that for this one. But I like how that's sitting a lot better now. Just looking for a spot where, no. Alright, let's go over here. Just want to hear this guitar for a minute. That might be all I do for this one. Cool. Yeah, that's all I really need out of that. Just needed a little more high end. Cool. Yeah. And we're not going to send that to reverbs and delays because all that is already built into the track. It was built in, it was recorded that way. And you know what? That's a great way to do it, especially with guitars. It's really great if you commit to a sound, if you decide what you want in the production and the writing stage, and then record that well. It works so much better than if someone who's mixing has to guess what effects you want on a specific track. Cool. And now we're going to come down to this piano track. This is sort of the last piece that we need to fit into our puzzle here. And as you can see, we kind of have we have two stereo tracks, one with left info, one with right info. So I'm just going to make sure that these are exactly the same volume level. We have them slightly different right now. 9.4. No, I need 8.4. There we go. So now we have both of them at exactly the same volume level. And we're not even going to EQ them on their own. We're just going to move straight over to the bus for this one because it's not two instruments playing, it's one instrument at the same time. And for some reason we have it split on two different stereo tracks. I don't know, maybe they recorded this in Ableton and everything's a stereo track in Ableton. So at least I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. But yeah, we're just going to treat this as if it's one instrument. So we're just going to bring it down to one stereo track and we're just going to mix it on the bus essentially. Because it doesn't make sense to mix the left hand and then mix the right hand and then bring them together. That doesn't make any sense to me. The piano is one instrument. You didn't play separately. So why wouldn't you treat it as one thing? So let's find a spot where the piano is playing a bit more. Playing a little bit there. Let's go into the middle here. And let's just solo that for a minute. Okay, that kind of reminds me of like the rhythm guitar part. Yeah, they're kind of playing off of each other a little bit. Okay. There's a little bit of a weird sound to those two. I just want to check something. I don't know. For some reason, they almost sound like they're out of phase. Let's just check now. That looks reasonably good. Wherever we have like a bigger peak and valley, they're sort of in the same spot. So maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's something else. Maybe it's just the sound of the room or where they had the mics. You know, maybe I'm used to hearing the mics a bit closer together. So, anyways. Nothing wrong with being wrong, especially when you think something's out of phase. Let's bring this back to where it was. There we go. All right. You know what? Maybe they pre-filtered it and maybe it was set a little bit high and maybe that's what I'm hearing. Either way, I do want to keep this out of the way of the kick and the bass guitar. Yeah, I think it's just a bit of a roomier piano than what I would record. Did you hear that? Like, sting, sting. It's weird. I wonder what was happening. Yeah, there. Oh, that's such a weird sound. I wonder what happened there. Almost sounds like there was something on the piano strings, which is an interesting choice. But you know what? It's not something I've ever heard in the mix, so I'm not going to stress myself about it. It's not really worth it. And you know, because they're kind of playing the same stuff as like the rhythm guitar, let's see if we can get that to groove a little bit better. All right, cool. So I think I like the piano where it's sitting. We're gonna call it here today. We've done a lot. We did vocals, we did guitars and pianos. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to play the song through so you guys can hear it. You can hear where we are. And then next time we'll cover some more reverb and delay treatment, and we'll probably do some automation, and then we'll be pretty much done. I think it's going to be a 3-episode mix. And just so you know, I'm going to start doing these every week, every Wednesday at about 5 p.m. Eastern for approximately an hour. I'm going to try and stick to that schedule as best I can. I had originally thought to do this every 2 weeks, but life got busy. Seems like all of July I had all this extra time, and so I started doing this, and then August I was just slammed. So I'm going to try and do this every week so that if I do miss a week, that way like it's not such a long time in between shows, because the last one was a month ago, and I apologize about that. And once again, feel free to drop in, leave your feedback. Let me know if there's any things you want me to demo. We'll try to get to that Boz Imperial delay with Smear next time. I'm going to go look at their website right now and see if they have a demo and make sure we can do that. But otherwise, yeah, I'm going to play you out, and I will see you guys next time.
Come on, you got a lot to say, so come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Come on, you got a lot to say, so come on and say it to my face. I know you know, I 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 know. Work hard all the time just to get brought back down. Your words cut